Techniques of scientific management. This is the topic which we are going to study today. As you know that scientific management is given by F.W. Taylor. So he has given 4 principles of scientific management that we have studied in the previous class and some techniques. Now, how many techniques have been given? Actually, 7 techniques are being given by F.W. Taylor. The techniques which will be helpful for the supervisor or the workers to be implemented in the shop floor. Basically, these techniques are for the production process, for the factory, like where the production is going on, where the machinery is working. These are the principles and techniques for lower level of management. Right? I have already told you. Henry Fayol has given the techniques, the principles for top level, whereas F.W. Taylor has given for the lower level of management. So I am going to write here what are various techniques. The techniques are, first one is time study, and then motion study, method study, and fatigue study. First of all, we will study about these 4 techniques of scientific management: time study, motion study, method study, and fatigue study. They all are collectively called as work study. Right? They are collectively called as work study. Wait a minute. I think this is now a bit more visible to me. Okay. So these techniques, time study, motion study, method study, fatigue, these are 4 different techniques, but they are collectively called as work study. When the question will come, they will come individually, separately they will be there. It is not like कि उन्होंने work study पूछा आपने चारों लिखने हैं, ऐसा नहीं होता, right? You are supposed to write them separately: time, motion, method study, and fatigue study. First 4 techniques, and then next is standardization and simplification. This is the 5th one. 6th one is functional foremanship. It is not visible. 6th one is functional foremanship, and 7th one is differential piece weight system. So today we are going to cover only first 5 techniques. So we will discuss these only, right? First 5 techniques of scientific management we are going to discuss today. So I'm going to start sharing my screen from which you can get to know about the details of these principles and techniques. Okay, so on my screen you can see techniques of scientific management is written. I have underlined and highlighted some of the words which are required to understand these concepts. So the first one is time study. Now, bete, techniques means that whenever you are doing the management at the lower level, you are supposed to follow a particular method, follow a particular type, follow a scientific inquiry, and then you will decide that how you are going to work. For example, first one is time study. What we'll do here, because we are studying scientific management. Scientific means scientifically we will study about the time. What time? Now the time here means the time which is required to complete one particular task. Right? This is the study which we call as time study, wherein we will find out by scientific inquiry that how much time is required to complete one particular task. Scientifically we will study. For example, have you ever assumed that why we are like having 40 minutes period and not like one day, full day for accounts, second day, full day for business studies? Have you ever imagined like this? The reason being that there is a particular amount of time which you can give to one particular subject, for which you will remain efficient and you will be able to understand them. So 40 minutes per day per subject is given to you, and likewise CBSE has divided your whole syllabus in, like for the whole year, the syllabus is being divided in the form of periods. You may have seen on the CBSE website also, when they launched the CBSE syllabus for a particular subject, along with the subject, they used to give the 30 minutes for this chapter, 20 minutes, 20 periods for this chapter, 30 periods for this chapter, or 2 periods for this topic, like this. So this is time study. This is not random, like I think, okay, in 5 periods, I will cover this chapter. I may cover this chapter in 5 periods, but there may be some other teacher who needs 10 periods for this chapter. There may be some other person who needs only 2 periods for a chapter. So it varies from person to person. So how this time study will be there? See, in an organization, you may have heard that all 5 fingers, they are not same. Some fingers are like long, short, so and so. Similarly, in the company also, the number of persons are there and every person has its different level of efficiency. For example, we are running a company in which we are manufacturing some cardboard boxes, right? Now, one worker takes 1 day to complete 3 cardboard boxes. There is another person who takes who complete 4 boxes in 1 day. There is another person who complete only 1 box in 1 day. So what is required here? Scientific inquiry is required, and then we will take out the average of all these 3 workers, and that average time will be set at the standard time. So that time will be a standard time, and that will be given to the worker. So this is the standard, that at least you are supposed to make 2 boxes per day, right? So this is called as time study. Time study is a technique. I'm reading here from the PDF. Time study is the technique to determine the standard time taken by a worker of average skill. Keep in mind, average skill, not a highly efficient person, not a below efficient person. Got it? So it is the time taken by an average person having average skill and knowledge to complete a standard task. So whatever task is there, you should be able to complete that task within that particular standard time, which is being given to you as a timeline. Got it? Next, what is the purpose of time study? Why do we study? Like time study करते क्यों हैं? What is the objective of studying time and then giving the target कि okay इतने ही मिनट मिलेंगे करने के लिए? What is the purpose? Number 1, to determine a fair day's wage. कि if a person is being given the work of manufacturing 2 boxes per day, he has done that. So that is a fair day's wage. So whatever wage is fixed, we will give it to him. To determine total labor cost, then we have to calculate that how many persons are required. For example, I need to manufacture 100 boxes in a day. One person is able to manufacture 2 boxes. So how many persons are required? Any one of you can tell me. If a worker manufactures 2 boxes in a day and 100 boxes are required to be manufactured in one particular day, how many workers will be required? Please raise your hand to give the answer. Okay, Sanyam.
50.
50. Very good. This is the right answer and very easy question. I just want to see if you are like listening or not. So 50 persons are required. So this is another way of calculating labor cost also. Like 50 workers are required for this work. And if one labor's wage is 200 rupees per day. So 50 workers into 200 rupees, like this we will calculate कि labor cost कितनी है for this particular day. Got it? Number 3 is to determine the number of workers to be employed, that you have calculated. Number 4 is to frame suitable incentive schemes. Suitable incentive scheme is to be calculated. Now, what is this incentive scheme? Because incentive scheme basically we are going to study in the 7th one technique. When we will study, you will come to know. Incentive means like if we have set the target of 2 boxes and someone is manufacturing 3 boxes, then we will pay him extra salary, extra wage as an incentive. So this is what is calculated here. So what is the objective? ये question आता है paper में. This question used to come in the form of case study. In the case study, some story will be given to you, and then you are supposed to identify which technique is there. Now, I want you to note it down. I am telling you some keywords. Those keywords which will help you to identify कि time study की बात हो रही है. Note it down, and when later on when we will study case study, I will ask you to tell me the keywords. Please write. I am also writing on the board. What are the keywords to time study? Okay. The keywords are to calculate standard time. Number 1. When it will be written that to calculate standard time. So how we can calculate with the help of time study. Number 2, अगर ऐसे लिखा हो to set target. So targets can be set and targets can be given only with the help of time study. That this is the target which you are supposed to achieve. Then अगर ऐसे लिखा हो to calculate number of workers. To calculate number of workers. These 3 terms will help you to identify that this is a question of time study. Got it? Time study. Number 1, to calculate standard time required to complete one work. Number 2, to give standards या to set standards for workers भी लिखा हो सकता है, ऐसे भी लिखा हो सकता है for workers. And then to calculate number of workers required to complete a particular task. So these are the 3 keywords which will help you to identify that this is a question of time study, right? Now I am shifting on to the next one. This is, here it is fatigue study. So what is the meaning of fatigue? First of all, you are supposed to tell me the meaning of fatigue study. Any one of you can raise hand if you know the meaning of the word fatigue. Simple word is there, fatigue. Okay, Himanshu wants to answer. Yes, Himanshu?
Tiredness.
You said tiredness. Okay.
Yes.
It is correct. Anyone else who want to say something about this fatigue word? Okay, no issues. So fatigue means, basically fatigue word means when you are doing some particular task or some particular thing for a long period of time, you may lose your efficiency to do that particular work for temporary time period. Like for that time period, you are not able to do the work, but later on again, you will be ready to do the same, right? For example, if I ask you to like raise your hands, so it is very easy. You can easily raise your both hands. But if I ask you to raise your hands for 10 minutes, then after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, your ability to hold your hands like this will reduce, because it will, like, fatigue will be there. Your flexibility, like if I ask you to bend down and pick something and then keep it on the table for one time, it is very easy. नीचे से कुछ उठाया For example, this chalk fell down on the ground and I ask you to please pick it up and put it here on the desk. You will do it, very easy. Once again you will do, once again you will do. But if I ask you to do the same 100 times, will you be able to do? No. So you will decrease your efficiency or the ability to do that particular work for particular time period. After some time, like if I give you rest of 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then I'll ask again, pick it up and put it on the table, you will be able to do. So this is what is being studied in fatigue study. F.W. Taylor said that we have to calculate fatigue study mein, we have to calculate the time which is required to do a particular work, जो हमने already पढ़ लिया, कहाँ पढ़ लिया हमने? And then after how much time the person will not be in the ability to do that particular work. So what is required? We need to give him a rest. So fatigue study mein we will study about 2-3 things. Number one, how much time, for how long a person is able to do work. Number two, after how much time he needs rest. The rest should be of how much duration. And then during one day, how many times he need rest. So there are 3 words which I am going to quote here. Number one, it is number of rest intervals. Number two, number of rest intervals. And then number 4, frequency भी बोल सकते हैं. And number 2 is duration of rest interval. Duration of rest. So these 2 words will be keywords to identify that this is a question of fatigue study. 2 words are there. What is that? It is number 1, frequency of rest interval, and the other one is duration of rest interval. Now frequency means how many times you need rest, and duration means for how long you are going to take rest. For example, when you are in the school, I'm not sure about the school, any one of you can help me out for this. How many times do we have a break here in the school? How many times in a day?
One time.
One time only. Okay. For how long? For
10-15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes. Okay. So
10 to 15.
10 to 15. Yes. See, now here in this school, the frequency of rest interval is 1. And time period for which you are getting the rest is, say, 15 minutes. So difference between the two is clear to you. Frequency means how many times. Let's say one break. There is only one break which you will have, and that break will be of 15 minutes, for example, right? In a company, it doesn't happen like this because they are the person working in a factory or in the company. They are working like physical labor is there. When someone is doing so much of physical labor, they need more rest. You may have seen in your houses also when some construction labor is there, they need once, for example, they have started work at 9, then they need first tea at 11 o'clock. Say 11 a.m. they need a tea break. 11 a.m. and then at 2 they need a lunch break, or 1:30 we can say 2 p.m. they need lunch break. And then before getting back to home, before going back to home, what they need? They need one more tea break. For example, at 4 p.m. they need again a tea break. So this is, I am talking about household construction laborers, okay, which you may have seen around you. 11 o'clock there is a tea break which may be of 15 minutes. 2 p.m. they have a lunch break, which may be of 30 minutes, 30 minutes or 35 minutes or 45 minutes. It depends. 30 minutes I am writing. And then 4 p.m. they again have a tea break of 15 minutes. So can any one of you please tell me what is the frequency of break? How many times do they have a break? What is the frequency? Yes, 3, 4. Okay, wait a minute. I can see Ketan is there. Yes, Ketan?
3 times a day.
Okay, so frequency here is 3. And what is the duration?
60 minutes.
Very good. So duration is sum total of all these breaks, that is 60 minutes. So duration will be 60 minutes. So it varies from profession to profession. It varies from person to person. It varies from organization to organization. That what will be the required frequency and duration of the break. Let's read it from here, this PDF. Fatigue study seeks to determine the amount and frequency of rest intervals required to complete a particular task. What is the purpose? This technique helps in increasing productivity, as the rest interval will help a person to regain its stamina and work again with the same capacity. Okay, then the process, it's not required, but we'll just read it for understanding the concept. It is an undisputed fact that after working for a certain number of hours, the workers are likely to feel tired and would like to take a break for food, restroom, etc. Therefore, by taking into consideration the nature of the work, I'm again putting it like emphasis here, nature of the work. You are coming to school just sitting and listening to your teacher. You don't get physically tired, you get mentally tired. So 15-minute break a day is enough. 6 hours का आपका working hours होते हैं स्कूल में, 6 hours में you will get 15 to 20 minutes की break, and that is sufficient because you are not into some like heavy physical work. So depending upon the nature of the work, appropriate rest interval should be prescribed both in terms of frequency and duration. In case the work is labor intensive, जो मैंने example दी, then by providing frequent small pauses of to the worker, their energy level will recharge for optimum contribution. देखो यही किया ना हमने एक बार 1 घंटे 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. We can do this कि हम 2 बजे से 3 बजे 1 hour की break दे देते, but we didn't do that. What we did, we gave them 3 breaks, 15, 30 and 15, like this, right? Achha, one more thing I want to tell you here. This is another notion that we are going to give them breaks. Like 3 breaks are here. This is the standard breaks. If we give them break for longer period of time, like for example, duration of a break is more. Say I am giving them lunch break of 2 hours, for example. I am giving them lunch break of 2 hours. What will happen? 2 hours they may go to sleep, and then once they will be awake, they again will not be able to work with full efficiency because they may lose interest in work. Got it? So that is why too much rest interval is not like suggested. Very less rest interval is also not suggested. So some standard is to be set. That is what F.W. Taylor said, that some standard time period for rest frequency and duration should be selected and it should be implemented in the organization. Is it clear? Have you written those 2 words which I have told you to write related to fatigue study? This is frequency of rest interval. I have written here frequency or number of rest interval and duration of rest interval. Clear? Next is method study. Now method study is very easy, as its name is telling us what is the meaning of method study, that scientific inquiry is required to find out the one best method But we are going to do, we are going to find out the one best method of doing the work. What is the one best method? That we will come to know after like observing or experimenting again and again, that what is the best way of doing this work. We will experiment, we will try, and then we will select one and ask them to do the same. We will not ask them to, पढ़ा है ना पहले हमने principles में. We have studied it, science not rule of thumb. The same thing is implemented here. Principle means the general guidelines, and here the techniques means the way of implementing the same. So what is required? First of all, we'll read the meaning. Method study seeks to find out one best way. So this is the key word to tell you. One best way or one best method is being identified here in method study of doing the work. Purpose. Now, what is its purpose? Method study helps to determine one best way of carrying out an activity. It helps in minimizing the cost of production and maximizing the quality of output. Cost of production will be reduced because we know what is best suitable way to do that particular work, and then our output will be maximum. And the level of customer satisfaction will also be, like we can measure the level of customer satisfaction. How? By deciding the sequence of operations beginning from procurement of raw material and continue till the process of final delivery to the customer. So all these activities, all the methods, all this work is to be decided in advance, and then we will implement it in the company, right? If you want to take, like, if you want to write, I can give you the this is one keyword which will help you to identify, and the other thing can be, keyword can be one best method with minimum cost. So in this way also the question can come. Case study में this line can be there. One best method with minimum cost is being selected and implemented. It means method study की बात होगी. One best way of doing a work, again method study की बात होगी. Clear है बेटे? I hope it is very much clear to you. I have tried to make it as easy as possible, and at the same time I have given you the keywords also. Next word, the technique is motion study. Now, what is this motion study? See, first of all, we will understand what is the meaning of motion. See, motion here means the movement. Motion means the movement of, like, physically movement of individuals and like men and material. On both this is implemented. Physical movement of both. Physical means the movement of your limbs, your hands, your legs. So your movement is being studied. How many times you are going to move during a day? That movement is studied here in motion study. Now you will ask how movement can be studied, how motion can be studied. See, let me give you an example. Right now, we are about to start with the summer season, in which you know it is, the temperature is too high, and all of us, we need water to hydrate ourselves again and again. So most of the students, teachers also, we all used to go to drink water. Okay, ma'am, may I go to drink water? Jaiye. May I go to drink water? Again, you can go. So once, twice, thrice in a day. In a day, minimum, I think 2 or 3 times you are going to drink water. In case, I'm taking example of a factory now. There is a factory and it is manufactured, or it is constructed in a very big area, right? For example, 10 kilometers का उसका radius में पूरा उनका जो business का है premises वो. Now a worker want to go and drink water. Now the water point is 2 kilometers far away from his workplace. So if he want to go to drink water, he will go 2 kilometers far and then come back. So much of time he is going to waste doing this only. Got it? So this is how a management, like a manager or a supervisor, can study that is this movement required or not required. I think this is a wasteful movement. This movement was not required. What else we can do? We can do that with all the departments, we can make new water points. So whenever a worker feels like going and drinking water, can go outside the department, drink water and come back. So how much time we are going to save with this? Similar case, ये अभी water की example थी, आप कहोगे water के लिए तो water bottle ला दो हमको, water cooler रख दो. Now what about washrooms? Now if in a factory there are only 5 washrooms and that too at different places, so worker wants to go and use the two. So how he is going? So he is going to waste a lot of time. So this is here where F.W. Taylor says that first of all we should see that 2 types of movements are there. One is productive movement and other is unproductive movement. I have written here on the screen also. 2 types of movements are there. Here in motion study we will study about the movements. Which movements? Productive or unproductive movement. This movement to go and drink water and come back, go and use washroom and come back after 15-20 minutes, this is unproductive movement. And the other one is productive movement. Now what is this productive movement? The movement which is very much required. For example, when a worker enters the organization, there are 5 gates to that company. इतने बड़े radius में तो 5 gate है, अलग-अलग जैसे north side, south, like this. They have made different gates. So the worker is required to enter from the gate which is most nearest to his workplace, and then after entering the gate he has to go to the office, right, like punch in karta hai for the attendance purpose, and then he will come back to the workplace. So we can't avoid that movement. That movement is something which is required for every individual who is coming to the company. He or she is supposed to do that punching, so the attendance should be marked with the machine. Now you may say कि मैडम वो machine भी लगा दो उसकी factory के बाद. So there are different departments, there are different machines in different departments. So everywhere we can't install attendance machine. Got it? And somewhere in the factory the temperature is so high that some machines cannot be installed. So if such machine is installed at one particular place, everyone has to go there to mark the attendance. This is a productive movement which you can't avoid. Similarly, there can be some other productive movements. Say the movement of material. For example, when the material is coming as a raw material to the company and then going out as an finished goods, he has to go from department A to B, B to C, C to D. We can't avoid that movement. That movement is required to complete the production process. So these are productive movements. Got it? Is this point clear? I am asking you again. दो तरह की movement होती है, productive, unproductive. Productive movement which is important for the business, which cannot be avoided. Unproductive movement which is a wasteful movement, which can be replaced by using some other methods. So you need to identify first. ये वाली line आपने लिख लेनी है. Keyword हमारा motion study का यही है. Identify movements. You are supposed to identify the movement if it is productive or if it is unproductive. Then the unproductive movement which is not required. अगला कीवर्ड हमारा क्या है? Unproductive movement should be क्या करना चाहिए हमें अनप्रोडक्टिव मूवमेंट हो तो? अनप्रोडक्टिव मूवमेंट को रखना है कि प्रोडक्टिव मूवमेंट को रखना है? प्लीज टेल मी इफ यू आर लिसनिंग.
Productive.
Productive.
केतन,
Productive.
प्रोडक्टिव को यस हमने रखना है एंड अनप्रोडक्टिव मूवमेंट शुड बी eliminated.
Avoided.
Eliminated.
Yes, it should be eliminated. This word should be there when you will be asked to write. The keyword will be there. वहां लिखा होगा कि unproductive या wasteful activities are eliminated, replaced, avoided. तो अगर ऐसा given है question में, it is a sure indication of motion study. Unproductive movement should be replaced with productive one. ठीक है, तो दो वर्ड्स मैंने आपको बताए. नंबर 1, to identify movements, identify and differentiate between productive and unproductive movement. ये words होंगे. And unproductive movement should be eliminated, right? Let's read it from the book now. PDF is there in front of you. We can read it from here. Motion study refers to the study of movements of limbs which are undertaken while doing a typical job. Purpose of this study is to complete the job efficiently in less time by eliminating unnecessary movement of limbs of a worker. Process I am going to skip. We are going to cover here the example. If I'll get one. This we will cover tomorrow. Okay. Right? So, the example for this can be, for example, in your company, a worker is working on a machine and he needs to pick the raw material and put it in the machine. Again, bending down, taking the material and putting in the machine. So what we can do, we can set up something, कोई ऐसा एक stage बना दिया on which the raw material will be kept. He will pick it up and put it in the machine. So will unnecessary bending will be replaced. Unnecessary movement, because bending will cause it pain in the back and that will decrease the efficiency of the worker. So this is what is said, unnecessary. See, 3 points are written here. Motions which are productive, motion which are incidental in nature, and motions which are unproductive in nature. इन तीनों को identify करो and then unproductive motions will be replaced.